Hey guys, it's January 17th and I am back with another video. We've got several deaths in the headlines that we're going to speak about today. And if you're new here, this is gematria. We talk about the practice of turning letters into numbers and the patterns that follow. It's an ancient language. If you don't know what it is, kind of look it up. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. There's 4 different ciphers. If you don't know what it is, guys, you'll learn. Just stick with me. But for you guys that already know what's going on, let's go ahead and get started with the deaths here that we've got in the headlines. So we'll recap this one real quick. Just because I noticed on my last video that I forgot to mention the season and things, so we're just going to talk about him again. So this guy was headline news on Martin Luther King Day, which of course it's a black man. Why wouldn't they do that on Martin Luther King Day in mockery? So his name was C.J. Harris, and he's from Alabama. He's dead at age 31, and he was in the 13th season. So you can see it right there, and I'll show you. Let's see. 13th season, right there. And so he's from Alabama. He's dead at age 31. Comes from the 13th season. The season began on January 15th, and he died on January 15th. And we knew that day to be looking out for a death because of the date 115, because you have Lucifer killing and Masonic are all 115. So they killed him in a pretty sick ritual, which I've already went over in a previous video, but we'll kind of still go over it. So C.J. Harris is 130, just like human sacrifice. And then you have the 6786 is just the same as the past videos. And the ones you're going to see coming up. All the numbers that we're talking about right now with C.J. we're going to talk about here in a minute. So he was in the 13th season. It premiered on January 15th. He's dead at the age of 31. And what I failed to mention in the last video is he got to release a debut single that was called In Love. See right here in 2019, he released his debut single In Love. And guess what In Love equals? 31. Just like the age he died, just like Alabama where he was from. And we see a lot of deaths connected to American Idol. And you can see why here, because the Brotherhood of Death. It wouldn't surprise me if this is not. He probably won't be the only one from American Idol this year. I hate to say it. I've done several of these modern day sacrifices from American Idol, Survivor, you name it. All of these reality TV shows are just, you think you win big, but you're actually chosen because you fit a pattern. And it's sick, and people need to wake up to it. So next in the headlines we're going to discuss is Hector Ramirez. So he was the cameraman for Dancing with the Stars. Look, we just talked about the other guy, right? We were talking about reality TV. So this guy got to be the cameraman on Dancing with the Stars. And you'll know that in the previous videos, we said this year is 2023 and 223 is a Skull and Bones Synagogue of Satan number. And we're in their year in a sense. And Skull and Bones is actually known as Order 322, and they're going to turn and Yale's going to turn 322 years old this year. So we're in a very satanic year anyway. But if you'll notice, they got him in a really sick ritual. So he actually died on January 11th. Okay, so Dancing with the Stars equals 111, just like the day he died. He was the cameraman, which is 174, just like Number of the Beast is 174, and that's how they listed him in the headlines, was the cameraman. And they didn't announce it until January 16th. He died Wednesday, but they didn't announce it till January 16th. And he was dead at the age of 78. Hector Ramirez, 78. So they killed the cameraman, at 78. Poor old Hector. Now, the day they announced his death was actually 222 days before his birthday, or a span of 223 days. So Dancing with the Stars is 222, and then the Synagogue of Satan and Skull and Crossbones is 223. So this was a very satanic ritual to kill off the cameraman. And it's also 144 days before his next birthday, just like Jez would order a Mark of the Beast. Now, he had 74 nominations for like best cameraman, I guess, and their little stuff that they do, those little awards celebrations to, clap for themselves because they're so evil. But he had 74 nominations. And if you'll notice, Killing Lucifer Masonic's all 74. Just kind of like we went over, with this guy. In the other cipher, Killing Masonic and Lucifer's all 115. So in this one, the original, which is A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, the ordinal, sorry, I said original, it's 74. And if you'll notice, the day that they actually killed him was a very satanic date numerology day because you had a 55, a 10, and a 35, just like Satan equals 55, 10, and 35. So it's a very satanic day to, kill off one of their rituals that they do. So the next one that we got, let's see, that one's the 17th, 17th. Let's do this guy. So this guy appeared in the headlines today. Arthur Ravenel, I don't know how to say it. Not even gonna try. He's a senator, one of them bastards from South Carolina, I think. Let's see. Yeah, South Carolina. And he's got a bridge named after him, right? So he's an older man, so nobody would ever question his death, of course, but he died at a span of 73 days after his birthday, so we know that's a sacrifice number. He died 17 years after the bridge opened, and the bridge is on Highway 17, and we know Kill is 17. So I didn't really dig into that one too much, like I said, he's dead at 95, and I just didn't dig too much into that one. So we got this guy here, Jeff Shooter he's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's dead at 41. So we know that's a Skull and Bones number. Like I just said, we're in a very Skull and Bones a year. So this guy makes the headlines on the 17th, but his death was actually on November 10th, and you're going to see why they waited so long before they announced it, because this is a sick little ritual too. So they waited 68 days after his death to announce it in the headlines. And Jeffrey Shooter, which is his name, is 68. And they waited 68 days from the day he died till the day they announced it in the headlines. Now, he's known for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's dead at age 41. And if you'll notice, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is 112, Brotherhood of Death 112. They both equal 257 as well, just like Blood Sacrifice. Now, he's dead a span of 121 days before the anniversary of the release of Buffy the Vampire, for which he was known for. So it's 121 days after, sorry, as I said before, but it's actually after. So November 10th, 2022 to March 10th, 2023, the day he died 121 days before this anniversary of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So the original release was March 10th. So we're 121 days away from that release when he died. And of course, it had 144 episodes. Now get this. So it has 144 episodes, just like Mark of the Beast and Jesuit Order, and he's dead 54 days after his birthday. So 144 episodes, and you're dead 54 days before your birthday. 121 days before the release of the film, and that's how they got him right there. So the next one we're going to go over is the American Heart Association had the headlines today about this guy, Ralph, who's dead. And he's dead at the age of 65. So get this. So we got the AHA on the 17th. This guy's dead at age 65. Right? So his death headline comes 223 days before his birthday, just like the one we just seen. So 223 days before the birthday, this dude's dead in the headlines. See? And they announce it on the 17th. Guys, it's the same patterns over and over. Like you just can't not see it, right? So then we got this guy here. British director Piers Haggard passed away at age 83. So if you're new here, it's probably not throwing a flag. You veterans here, 83, you already know it's a murder, right? Because that's a murder code. So this guy's dead at 83, and he's known for pennies from heaven. And he is dead he's dead 66 days before his birthday, or a span of 67, okay? So 66 and 67. 66 days before the birthday, if you count the very last day, it's 67. So we know the 67 is the blood sacrifice number, and the 66 is the day that his film came out. So his film, The Pennies from Heaven, actually released on the 66th day of the year. And it's 66 days until that anniversary of that film coming out when he died. Because he died on January 11th. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. Totally said that wrong. It was the 66th day of the year, and he died, let's see. I done got myself all sidetracked, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the film came out on the 66th day of the year, and he's dead 66 days before his birthday. Sorry, I totally got that all screwed up, didn't I, guys? That's okay, bear with me, it's late. So the film came out on March 7th, and it's the 66th day of the year, and then he died 66 days before his actual birthday. Now, the film itself came out on March 7th, 78, and we know March 7th is 7-3, 7/3, which is that sacrifice number we talked about a few minutes ago. But this one here is a big number too. If you didn't watch my last video I have two videos up right now that shows the four, I think there was either four or five, might have been five, but there might have been five football players last week, and I did a video with all of them, and they all died like 107 days from the day they signed their draft or before their draft. They all had a 107 connection, and they all died last week. It was crazy. But this guy's got that same 107 connection because his film came out on a date numerology of 107, and it's been 44 years since that film came out, which is the kill number. And I find it interesting that a lot of these guys, they got these OBEs underneath their name, and they all got these little symbols because they're part of these orders, and it's all a satanic, Masonic New World Order. I mean, that's all it could be, whatever you want to call them. I mean, you can call them the Cabal, you can call them the Satanic Order, you can call them Skull and Bones, you can call them the Jesuit Order, you can call them the Society of Jesus. I mean, they have so many different names because that's how they lay under the radar. I mean, every good criminal every good criminal goes by like an alias, right? So if a criminal doesn't go by his real name, what makes you think that these societies would all just stay under the same name? And a lot of people think the Order of the Illuminati is different from Skull and Bones, is different from the Jesuit Order, is different from the New World Order. And they're really not, because they're all a big game of assholes that are just doing shit to us to control us, and we're just sitting here taking it. Because they're the ones that are banking off the panties, demics, right? They're the ones banking off the panties. So they're making us wear masks on our face. They're making us order everything. You can't go in a grocery store 6 feet apart, all that crap, and I mean, and if you're new here, guys, and you don't understand like how big of a psyop that was, just know that the government did an exercise 666 days before they declared that pandemic. So keep that in mind, guys. This knowledge is worth knowing. But I will talk to you soon. I promise there'll be some more tomorrow to show you, and we'll be talking about these same numbers. Y'all have a good evening.